So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on our WAEC biology exam revision series, we have here these 20 questions to answer on the topic basic ecological concepts. So guys, this video will be about food webs and trophic levels. So in short, to stay to the end of this video, here we have a diagram here, and the question says the producer in the diagram is A, ivy, because it is the organism that receives the highest amount of sunlight. B, ivy, because it is the largest organism in the diagram. C, I, because it contains the least amount of energy. D, I, because it uses sunlight to manufacture food. So guys, actually the answer to this question is option D, and that's I, because it uses sunlight to manufacture food. So let's consider the next question. Question number 2, it says, study the food chain illustrated below and use it to answer the question below. Organism J is normally sustained by energy from A, green plants, B, carbohydrates, C, sunlight, D, organism K. So guys, looking at this, you'll notice that organism J here is the primary producer, and it's basically sustained by sunlight. And that's it for this question, option C. So let's consider the next question. Question number 3, it says, organisms in an ecosystem are usually grouped according to their trophic level into A, consumers and parasites, B, carnivores and omnivores, C, producers and saprophytes, D, producers and consumers. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, producers and consumers. Let's consider the next question. Question number 4 here, it says, which of the following solution is suitable for removing chlorophyll in a green leaf? A, benthic solution, B, methylated spirits, C, Fehling solution, D, Milan reagents. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's methylated spirit. Methylated spirit is used to remove chlorophyll from a green leaf, and it's used in this process because it can dissolve chlorophyll without damaging the leaf structure. So that's it for that question. Let's consider the next question. Question number 5, it says, if a pond contains waterweed, tadpoles, tap minnows, and is visited after by herons, what would be the possible food chain? All right, A, we have waterweed, then tadpole to heron and to tap minnow. B, waterweed to tap minnow to heron to tadpole. C, waterweed to heron to tap minnow to tadpole. D, waterweed to tadpole to tap minnow to heron. So guys, the answer to this question will be option D here, and that's the correct sequence of the food chain. So let's consider the next question. Question number 6 here. It says, an organism at the start of a food chain which provides total input energy into an ecosystem is the A, producer, B, consumer, C, sun, D, decomposer. Okay guys, I know you already must have guessed rightly the answer to this question, and that's option A, producer. So let's consider the next question. Question number 7. It says, study the diagram of a food chain shown below and use it to answer this question. So we have P to Q to R to S to T. So which of the following statements best describes the organism designated R? Okay, A says it is a secondary consumer. B, it is a producer as well as a consumer. C, it feeds on S. And then D, it's a primary consumer. So guys, the answer to this question is option A. It is a secondary consumer because actually it feeds on Q. So Q is actually a primary consumer that feeds on P, and P is the producer in this diagram. So R is actually a secondary consumer. That's it for that question. Let's consider the next question, question number 8. It says, the following organisms are consumers except A, earthworm, B, bacteria, C, Spirogyra, and D, Rhizopus. So guys, Spirogyra is not a consumer because it's actually a green algae. So it's actually photosynthetic. It can produce its own food, and as such, it's the odd option here. So let's choose option C, and that's the answer to this question. Let's consider the next question, guys. Question number 9. It says, the table shows the number of some organisms in habitats W and Y. So here is it. And the question says, the number of lions and antelopes in habitat Y shows that lion, A, and the antelopes are predators, B, and the antelopes are prey to each other, C is the prey while the antelope is the predator, D is the predator while the antelope is the prey. So guys, from the habitats Y, we have just 6 lions against 51 antelopes. So this shows that the number of lions here, 5, should feed more on the greater number of antelopes here. And that's it for this question, and we'll go ahead and check out the next question. Question number 10. It says, which of the following organisms would be the producer in a food chain? So we have A, bacterium, B, maize, C, goat, and D, man. So guys, looking at all the options here, the producer here will be maize because that's the green plant here that has the ability to manufacture in the options given here. And that's option B, guys. So let's consider the next question we have here. It says, which of these organisms occupied the third trophic level? We have A, phytoplankton, B, small fish, C, kingfisher, and D, big fish. So guys, the answer to this question is actually option B here, and that's the small fish. That's the organism that occupies the third trophic level. So let's consider the next question, question number 12. The producers in a food chain in an aquatic environment are A, birds, B, phytoplankton, C, fishes, D, zooplankton. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the phytoplankton. They are the organisms here that have the chlorophyll and ability to manufacture their food. So that's the answer to this question, option B. So let's consider the next question, question number 13. It says, the position occupied by organism in a food chain is the A, niche, B, energy level, C, trophic level, and D, biomass. So guys, the answer to this question is option C, that's the trophic level. Let's consider the next question, question number 14. It says, which of the following statements about feeding relationship is correct? A, in a feeding web on land, grasshopper feeds on praying mantis and on predator bugs. B, in an aquatic food chain, molly's larvae are producers. C, in a food chain on land, green plant is the producer. D, in an aquatic food web, various copepods feed on molly's larvae and on sand eel. So guys, the answer to this question is option C. In a food chain on land, green plants is actually the producer. So let's consider the next question, question number 15. It says, food webs are complex because A, many animals feed directly on producers. B, they include primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. C, some animals form part of several food chains. D, the number of producers are large. So guys, the reason why food webs are complex is because some animals form part of several food chains. Let's consider the next question. Okay, here we have a food web and it says, how many food chains are in the diagram? We have A 4, B 3, C 6, and D 5. So guys, the answer to this question here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see that we have 5 food chains here, and that's it for that question. Option B here is the answer to this question. We have 5 food chains here. So that's it. If you consider all the areas this food web is branching, you'll get 5 different areas where it's branching, and that's the 5 different food chains we have here. So let's consider the next question. Question number 17. It says, which of these organisms is a herbivore? So guys, the answer to this question is actually option A, and that's tadpole. So tadpole is the herbivore here, because phytoplankton, which is at the first level here, is actually a primary producer or a producer here. So since the phytoplankton is the producer, the organism that feeds on it is definitely a herbivore, and that's the tadpole. So let's consider the next question. Question number 18. It says, study the diagram below carefully and use them to answer this question. We have here, what is the likely food of the bird in I? We have A, nectar, B, seed, C, worms, D, fishes. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's nectar. The bird with a pointed beak is adapted for sucking nectar, and guys, that's option A here, and that's the answer to this question. So let's consider the next question. Question number 19. It says, an importance of food web is that living organisms A, use web to collect food, B, have to form a web, C, depend on one another for their existence, D, can live on their own. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's depend on one another for their existence. So let's consider the next and the last question here, guys. Question number 20. We have here another food web, and the question says, what would be the effect of taking the lion out of the web? A, man will occupy the apex of the web. B, there would be more rabbits in the web. C, the number of organisms at each tropic level would increase. D, the energy reaching the remaining tropic levels will increase. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, man would occupy the apex of the web. And this is where we end this video for today. So guys, if you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, if you have any specific question regarding this video, you can drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response. So we also want to encourage you to join our YouTube channel community, where we'll post major updates on WAEC examination. So we encourage you to do that by hitting the join button below, and we'll see you right there. So thank you once again for watching this video, and see you on the next one.